Hey there, so today we have another review. This is Bourbon County. Goose and Bourbon County got the shirt going on, and 2020 edition, absolutely excited. Every year it's time for this. Didn't do the Black Friday hunt or anything. Thankfully enough, we have Publix down here, which is like a nicer supermarket. It's not quite all the way to Whole Foods, but it's like in between Walmart and Whole Foods. I don't know, something like that. If you guys know, if you guys are from South or Florida, Publix is quite a nice place. But 2020 Bourbon County, excited to see how this one turns out. Definitely enjoyed it every year. Pitch black as usual. Have it slightly chilled. Actually, probably a little colder than that. I like it. But even then, it's fast. I mean, I'll throw it in the freezer 10 minutes and probably less than 10 minutes and you should be in good shape. So you don't actually have to chill these things that aggressively. So beer is just absolutely beautiful. Pitch black. The foam sort of like lingers down onto the beer. Tiny bubble creation over here. Beautiful head, though not, I guess there's a good amount of carbonation here because it doesn't really, I guess maybe have a little cold, so the carbonation staying a little bit more in suspension. Generally, you have this kind of like black sheeting onto the sides of the glass, but I mean, that's Bourbon County. Rich vanilla notes, tons of dark chocolate, the rich dark like coffee and roast note that you get from Bourbon County. Very signature. A little bit of nuttiness in there as well. Wonderful char from the oak. Dark, rich beer. It smells quite sweet. A little bit of like cherry cordial and like maraschino cherry in there. But your like richest, most decadent coffee chocolate desserts. Cheers. So, I guess I have a little bit of influence from Don't Drink Beer. They reviewed all the variants, including the special ones, and they talk about this year's. And first off, talking about the ABV, it's a little higher this year. It's 14.6. That's one of the highest. Last time I remember getting sort of up there was like 2012 was like 15, but yeah. This beer is, it's so hard to sort of taste a beer without having any preconceived notion of like what people have said about it. And I could sort of see what Alex Kidd of Don't Drink Beer sort of talked about this beer. It is roasty, thinner, and boozy. Yeah, I definitely sense, I definitely sense more alcohol than usual. It's got a lot of like this kind of like ethanol-y, boozy, bourbon-y kind of character to it. Packed along with, as you finish off, there's this like really nice kind of marshmallow-y vanilla note to it. Dark up front, almost slightly licoricey, almost acrid in its bitterness. Burnt coffee for days, dark chocolate. The roast is quite intense. This is an impactful one. This is a put hair in your chest kind of a take on Bourbon County. It's boozy, rich, dark. This one I can definitely see putting away for a few years. Some of them come off a little bit more lightly fruitier, having had, you know, done like verticals and stuff. Some come off a little bit fruitier. Some come off a little bit more well-rounded and brownie batter-like. This one is that like booze plus beer kind of thing. It's not all the way there where, you know, I do rag on some bourbon barrel aged imperial stouts where it really tastes like the imperial stout is spiked with actual bourbon. This one leans in that theme, but it's still obviously Bourbon County, well integrated barrel character. It's put into the beer really beautifully. And again, hard to say that without preconceived notions. This one even comes off like a bourbon barrel aged Baltic porter. There's just this like almost thinness to it because there's so much impact of booze and richness or of the cask character. The 14.6% really shows. Yeah, this would be a fun one to sort of sit down and age. It, again, is less of that kind of pastry tone and that kind of like rich, decadent chocolate cake that Bourbon County does sometimes. This is more of that kind of woody, thinner and boozier. Not a necessarily bad thing. It's always fun to have, you know, variations on, you know, one of my favorite beers of all time, the beer that got me into craft beer. 100 out of 100 as usual. You know, if I had to say maybe 100 minus 700, I think it really maybe needs a little bit more time to evolve in the bottle, but absolutely delicious. And if you want impactful beer, which Bourbon County is, you're gonna get this. And in a world where everything's so sweet and sticky, it's actually quite nice, because this beer generally is actually obviously very sticky, and you know, in context it might not be, but it's nice to have something that's just impactful. Really shows the cask character. Lots of bourbon on this one. Absolutely fantastic. Bourbon County 2020. Until next time, guys, cheers. Let me know what you think. Later.